Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. There are fall art workshops coming to the Jasper Art Center. Joining us in the studio is Emily Peak. Emily is the Director of Visual Arts, is that?
Visual Arts Coordinator.
Okay, Visual Arts Coordinator. That's right. You have 4 workshops really a year that you do, and this is the fall workshops.
Right.
Tell us what the offering is.
So this year, or this fall, we have 7 different classes. So different mediums. We have visual arts and we have guitar classes. So we have the musical realm as well. So they're for adults, middle schoolers, kiddos. We can do watercolor classes. We have pen and ink with watercolor. The clay hand building or wheel throwing, those are always popular. So if you're into that or want to be into that, call soon.
Okay, because that one fills up pretty quick.
It does. And we for the wheel classes, it's only a limit of 8 because we only have 8 wheels. So that's space is limited.
The other ones are probably like 20 people, maybe.
12 to 15.
12 to 15.
So you have a bigger chance. Yeah.
Well, that's good because then you're seeing some personal instruction from the instructor instead of being like, okay, all of you, this is what we're doing.
Exactly.
It's like,
and you get that one-on-one time.
Yeah. Okay. So there's watercolor, pen and ink. Then there is middle school clay hand building. That's just for fifth.
Just for fifth graders through 8th graders. Okay. So if they're not in any sports, or if they are in sports and can do both, come in the evening. Those are on Monday nights. So Steve Payline is our instructor. He's from Lagodi, a potter, and a hand builder as well. So it should be a great time.
Now there is also then pen and ink. Now pen and ink as opposed to watercolor pen and ink. Is there really much of a difference? Or?
Yes. Yeah. So the watercolor pen and ink will be, if you've seen kind of like the cartoons with the, it doesn't have to be cartoons, but landscapes or caricatures or whatnot, with the thick black ink and then the watercolor on top of it or through it. So it gives another depth to it. And then the pen and ink is only pen and ink or ink pens or the kind of like the calligraphy ink.
Okay.
So a little mixture of that.
And then I'm going to ask you this question as we go along. You also have beginning throwing for high school and adults.
Yes.
Okay. And then intermediate, advanced wheel throwing. Do you have to be certified through the beginning wheel? Is that what it is?
There's no certification, no graduations or anything that you have to participate in. But if you know a little bit about it or you feel more comfortable on the wheel, then you don't have as many questions as a beginner would. Intermediate would be the one for you. Beginning wheel, we'll take them even if you've just thought about it. So there's no limit on that. Whatever your preference is.
Okay, and then there's beginning guitar lessons.
Yes.
Okay, so this is somebody that's never done a guitar before.
Yep.
And you don't necessarily have to have rhythm. Probably helps.
But it could.
Yeah, it could. But they'll teach you like what do you call it? The melodies.
Yes.
Will I be able to play Smoke on the Water when it's over? Or?
Possibly.
Yeah, okay.
I can't promise anything, but maybe the beginning of it. Rafaela is teaching that one, and that's going to actually be at the Art Center. Okay. You do have to bring your own guitar, though. Okay. So either you can, if you have one at home, or if a family member or a friend, so bring that along, and she'll show you all the chords.
And it's an acoustic guitar you bring?
Yes, not electric, yes.
So, and for my Guitar Hero that I have with my PlayStation, I shouldn't bring that.
Yeah, probably not.
The same thing.
You could and see what happens.
And then you also do watercolor portraits.
Yes, so that's another watercolor class, strictly watercolor, no pen and ink or ink pens. So that will be portraits of, I think there's portraits of people and pets or anything, so.
Okay, now for the guitar you need to bring your own guitar.
Yes.
But for these others, pen and ink, wheel throwing.
Everything's provided.
The watercolors, the brush.
Yes, everything, the canvases, the paper. You just come, show up, and ready to learn.
Okay, so the pen and ink is going to be the little ink well.
Yes.
And then you dip it in there, and then but you provide all of that.
We do, yeah.
Okay. And then, obviously, there's a fee for it.
Yes.
So it varies depending on the class that you have.
Correct. Of course, the clay classes are going to be a little more expensive. Clay, there's more of a process with the glazing and the firing and whatnot. So those are a little pricier, but everything's still under $100, and it's for 6 weeks. So.
Well, it's once a week for 6 weeks?
Yes,
okay.
Correct.
Is it almost always a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night? It's always the same night,
yes.
basically?
Yep, okay. For 6 weeks.
And when you're done with any of these, other than the guitar. When you're done with it, will you have something you take home and say, look, I painted this, or I drew this?
In some of the classes, you might take something home every week. In other classes, at the end of the 6 weeks, you'll take everything home, especially clay. You'll probably have to wait until the end of the 6 weeks for it to dry and everything. But watercolor classes, in the past, they've taken it home once a week. So it's exciting to see a process and see something finished and you can take home.
Now, since it is somewhat limited on the amount of people, register early.
Correct.
And the deadlines were into September?
September 27th.
Okay. Because the classes really start the next week, pretty well, don't they? Okay.
Yes.
How do you get registered for the Fall Art Workshop?
Well, if you receive this in the mail, you can just cut off the bottom of it and mail it in. You can call our number, 812-482-3070. Any of us can take the order over the phone. Or you could go to jasperarts.corsizio.com to register online as well. We can't take payment online yet, but we can make sure that your spot is reserved.
If someone calls you to make a reservation, can they pay you by credit card over the phone?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and so payments won't go through until the class is a go. Participants will know if the class is a go or not either way, so they'll hear from us no matter what.
So really, they're going to have 6 weeks of fun.
Yes.
Learning a new skill or a new trait, or getting better at it.
Right, freshen up.
So new skill. So I've never touched a pen or an ink. I don't even know what it means. Can I still take the class?
Absolutely.
Or will
we encourage it. Yeah, it's a fun time. The groups are smaller, as we talked about, so you're getting that one-on-one action, and you're learning something new, and don't be scared. Just come out and have fun.
Well, I noticed that this time, I don't remember pen and ink being one of the ones last time. So it's like sometimes you'll have oil paint, sometimes you'll have acrylic, sometimes you'll do watercolor.
They vary.
So it's different every time.
The instructors are all local, so it depends on their schedule, depends on what classrooms are available, and so forth. So.
And all of the classes except guitar are held at the the swimming pool. That's probably where people know.
The basement. Yep.
Okay.
That's the best location.
Anything else that you'd like to add?
Please sign up. They're always a great time, and sign up fast.
Sign up soon because the Fall Art Workshops start in early October, first week of October, right?
Yes, first week.
Right away. Okay. Yeah. And then they go through about November to kind of give you an idea how that works.
Great. So perfect presents for Christmas time.
Emily, thank you very much for coming in and being our guest.
Thank you.
Our guest has been Emily Peak. She is the coordinator of visual arts with the Jasper Art Center. Fall Art Workshops available now. Make sure that you sign up for something, a new skill or an old skill, and hone it better. Thank you for watching 18 WJTS. We are local people watching local people.